tuned in to Paranormal TV Network, and you're listening to Haunted Moments, and I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Theresa F. Koch. The Superstition Mountains. Perhaps nowhere in the entire United States is there an area full of legend, history, and intrigue as the rugged 160,000-acre Superstition Mountain Range in central Arizona. Archaeological evidence indicates that people were here more than 9,000 years ago. Later inhabitants, including the Salado, Hohokam, and Apache Indians, followed by Spanish explorers and Mexican gold miners. Early American trappers and adventurers migrated to the area and were soon followed by cattlemen and farmers. Eventually, the U.S. cavalry was sent in to establish forts to protect this rapidly growing population. As modern times approached, men and women began searching for what they believed was the richest gold mine in the world. This mine was made famous by Jack Waltz, known as the Dutchman. He took the secret of his mine to the grave in 1891. The legend of the Lost Dutchman's gold mine centers around the Superstition Mountains. According to legend, a German immigrant named Jacob Walzer discovered a mother lode in the Superstition wilderness and revealed its location on his deathbed in Phoenix in 1891 to Julia Thomas, a boarding house owner who had taken care of him for many, many years. Several mines have been claimed to be the actual mine that Walzer discovered, but none of those claims have been verified. Many have searched and many have disappeared there looking for this mine. Some Apaches believe that the hole leading down into the lower world is located in the Superstition Mountains. Winds blowing from the hole are supposed to be the cause of severe dust storms in the area. Even today, treasure hunters scour the mountains searching for the Lost Dutchman's mine. The Superstition Mountains in Arizona have long been a place of unexplained paranormal stories and legends of lost treasures. From the stories of the Lost Dutchman's mine to being a place of multiple portals where reptilian humanoids come up from the depths of the underworld to prey upon hapless human victims. Unearthly lights that glow at night, lighting up the delicate desert skies as ships come to and fro between dimensions. This has always been a place of mystery, an obsessive exploration of brave adventurers who would debark into its depths to seek out its unrevealed secrets have never returned. This is a place that refused to adhere to man's rules and seems to do its own thing, at times almost in defiance of man. If you are a sensitive, this is a place where you will experience one phenomena after another. Best known who you are and have a keen respect for the desert while there, and if you do not believe in paranormal experiences before you play here, you will after you leave. The Apaches call it the Devil's Playground. Warning, they say never linger after dark. Things happen here that cannot be explained. Here the crust that lies between this world and others must be very thin, for it accesses the inner earth is almost an open field. In the space of one day, one can experience several times in several dimensions, with temperatures reaching over 130 degrees Fahrenheit in the day and can drop to 50 degrees in a matter of a few hours at the sunset. One Pima legend says stone people of the Superstition Mountains, when Earth Doctor stuck his staff into the ground to cause the flood and water covered the earth, most of the people perished, but some escaped and followed White Feather, who fled to the top of the Superstition Mountains. The water rose, covering all the valley until it was as high as the line of white sandstone, which is a capacious landmark there. White Feather, surrounded by his followers, tried all his magic in vain to prevent the further flood. When he saw he was powerless to prevent this, he gathered all his people and consulted them, saying, "I have exhausted all my magic powers but one, which I will now try." Taking in his left hand a medicine stone from his pouch, he held it at arm's length, at the same time extending his hand upwards towards the sky. After he had sung 4 songs, he raised his hand and seized the lightning with which it struck a stone. This broke into splinters with a peal of thunder, and all his people were transformed into the pinnacles of stone, which now can be seen projecting from the summit of one of the peaks of the Superstition Mountains. They say the portals do exist here. Many people tell of their portal experiences. Legend says if you do come across one, keep in mind that if you pass through, then something can pass through going in the opposite direction. Sisyphos are stationary, others are moving. Yes, moving from one location, they say, to another like waves of energy. Also, they are not always accessible. Some are open all the time, most are not. So if you went through one, there is no guarantee it will be open when and if you can return. Nothing should come to any great surprise to you when you visit the Superstition Mountains area. Don't be shocked if in 1 minute you turn about to see an old Indian or a prospector standing in the distance staring at you, or even little people. You blink your eyes and they've disappeared. That's the part of the norm. Or you find missing time you cannot account for, but reach in your pocket to find a piece of gold or a beautiful crystal. That, my friend, is also part of the norm, they say, here in the Superstition Mountains. Part of the mystery of the Superstition Mountains. You've been listening to Paranormal TV Network, and I am your host, Reverend Dr. Theresa F. Koch, and this has been Haunted Moments.